One, we are live on Journey.
Awesome. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression, DJ Journey, Catherine, and Marquita Monet. What's going on, ladies?
What up?
Hi.
Yes. We have a special guest today. Marquita, please bring this woman in.
Wow. I don't know if I can do it. This is so big. We have with us in the studios the Honorable Frederica Tuita, daughter of Her Royal Highness, Princess Pilo Leviu of the last remaining kingdom in the South Pacific.
Let's give it up.
Thank
you for coming to the show.
Of Tonga. Yes.
Thank you, Marquita.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Hollywood, Princess. What an honor.
We are here.
Well, I got to tell you, it sounds like I pretty much introduced where you're from, but I'm sure you can say it a little bit better than us. Can you let us know a little bit more about where you're from and let us know how your surroundings have shaped you? You're such an extraordinary woman. I had the pleasure to sit down with dinner with the Red Boa Steakhouse, but I want the audience to actually hear your royal voice.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I go by Freddie.
Freddie.
Yes, I think that's easier for everyone to pronounce. And I'm from the last remaining kingdom in the Pacific Islands called Tonga, the Kingdom of Tonga.
Yes.
Can you tell us geographically where exactly that is?
So we're about a 3-hour flight away from Fiji.
Oh, wow.
Yes, close, very close to Fiji and Samoa. Yes, those are our neighboring islands in the South Pacific.
So all I'm seeing is beautiful blue water and white sand.
Yes.
Am I correct? Is the vision on point?
Yes.
We should have had the show there. Can we just change locations?
Yes,
with drinks.
You're all welcome back to the kingdom with us.
Yes, thank you, Princess.
I hope the last question is teleportation.
Oh, wow.
That's fab.
But
Okay, guys, also in the studios, we have Miss Elizabeth, who Liz, aka Liz, with those cute sunshades. She's sitting in. She works very closely with the princess. So, Liz, can you let us know your relation to Princess Freddie?
Sure. We're just really good friends. I've been working with her since 2012. I have a media platform that caters to Pacific Islanders in sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
And so her and I started to collaborate, and she would share stories on Tongan culture. There's a big, huge migration of islanders here in America. And so there's a huge disconnect of culture. And so she would share stories and write articles and do interviews that would help reconnect the generation that was born and raised here in the U.S. back to the islands. And so that's what we would do. And so she has different topics on different, like Tongan and Samoan relations. A lot of people always ask about that. That's a popular topic. Cultural taboos too as well. And then the art of tattooing. We all know that tattooing comes from Polynesia.
Yeah.
And so...
well, I learned from you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that?
And I learned from Moana. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I have a 2-year-old, so
Journey is the human
Moana
encyclopedia.
I think I learned from National Geographic, and you look what happened.
Our girl is tagged.
They all have meanings, and
Yeah.
I absolutely appreciate all of that and the true meaning of tattoo art and rituals. So, what would you say was the most taboo thing that you're trying to really break the ice? There's so much taboo.
There are quite a few, and I think that tattooing would be one of those taboos because tattooing for Tongans in particular was outlawed by the missionaries. So there's been this movement to revive our traditional patterns, which is very difficult because we've lost a lot of them over the years. So I got one large one on my back.
Was it a rite of passage in the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, for men and for women?
For men and for women.
Oh,
they were
both.
Both men and women received tattoos. It was also seen as medicinal for people suffering from arthritis. So in some
like
old drawings,
acupuncture.
yes, so in some old drawings, you'd see tattoos going up people's arms, older people. So that would be how they thought to cure their arthritis.
Makes sense.
So was it the ink that was medicinal, or Was it just
It may have just been the process of
the
receiving the
process.
tattoo because
Yeah.
they do it with the stick.
The tapping.
The tapping.
God?
Very similar to
Wow.
acupuncture when they connect the needles and
That's
they have the
right.
tapping mechanism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Love that
So-
connection.
Yeah, yeah.
How exciting.
I know.
Wow.
I know. It makes you want to go get a tattoo.
Yes.
And I bet you want to see yours, princess. She's turned up. Okay, so what would you say what influenced you? What influenced you to actually get a tattoo on your back? Was it the combination of things that you said, or what specifically do you have tatted, Hollywood culture, tatted on your back?
Well, it was just I wanted to mark that milestone, that part of my life, because I had I felt as though I had become an adult and that I found my independence. And since then, I feel that I've come such a long way. So it's time to update the tattoo.
Okay, so you've added on to it.
I'm going to.
Oh
yes,
wow!
I intend to.
Any little clues of what the meaning behind?
Yes, definitely my children.
Okay.
My children. I'm
Aw.
carrying with my third now, so I think
Congratulations.
I'd like to express honor them.
Mm.
Yes, on my skin permanently until the day I die. So I want to do that.
And it's funny, from a personal quick story of mine.
Yeah.
My mother got mad at me when I had my first tattoo because my culture, I'm originally from Russia. So anybody that got a tattoo there, you were automatically from prison. So in my culture, very black and white perspective to tattoo arts.
Mhm.
So not accepted whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So I love,
you relate to that and how the history and
Completely,
everything
and
tried to
maybe-
prohibit it.
yeah, history really drives it. And
Mhm.
it's always a self-expression and, you know, what your roots are.
And we don't tell our parents.
Ironically,
Just
and
show
it's
them.
like, yeah, put a jacket on, cover it up, on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Well, kudos to you two beautiful, bold, amazing women. And so now that we have allowed you guys to see how down to earth this royal woman is, we're going to get down to some remarkable work that she's doing. Can you kind of let everybody know things that are very special to you, even if it's just something specific, and any current projects that you're working on in your kingdom?
Thank you. Yes, I'm working. Well, I'm involved in a campaign which is very dear to me, the No Plastics campaign.
Wow.
Because it just started. There was no movement of this type in Tonga, and we started it with just our church and the youth.
Wow.
And there's only, I think there are only, you could say there are about 20 families in our church, so it's very small.
Mhm.
And we started it with our youth. And so the main issue here is to educate people on plastics pollution, because Tongans aren't they don't know very much about plastics pollution. So we have to start with just cleanup campaigns along the
Yeah.
seafront. Yes,
Cheers.
Catherine's
I
the
noticed
bomb.
that. Yes. And then we just educate. We continue to educate people,
Yeah.
our community, and the people in the kingdom about plastics pollution. And we're also encouraging the government to move towards banning plastics in Tonga.
Yeah.
Nice.
How lovely is that? Because that's really big. That's what's going on, trending
huge.
now in
It's-
California. Like
yeah,
you have to ask for a
definitely.
straw.
I mean,
And
Because-
people are buying
right?
straws that are aluminum and foldable, and women like carry them in their purse.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that's a big pain in the ass.
But if people are
it
going to
does
be
save the
trifling and
environment
just
at the
throw
end of the
it,
day.
yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, is plastics pollution, did that become more of an issue because it was an island and people were kind of dumping into the water systems and
Yes.
just geographically located,
Yes.
or
Yes. It also pollutes the land. We don't have much land
Mhm.
in Tonga. It's a small island. So it interferes with our agriculture. It interferes
Absolutely.
with our environment. And most people, they have jobs. They are employed, but they also farm to make ends meet, to feed their families.
Mhm.
And so plastics pollution really affects that.
Where does the plastic come from? Like what other countries?
It's
Like what are
Big
the
countries.
imports?
Where it
What are
like
the
floats,
imports
like where it
of
floats
plastic?
there
Yeah.
to Tonga.
Yeah,
floats
what,
to Tonga and
what
also-
country is importing to yours?
They buy
All the
some-
major brands?
Yes, shops, the different shops, they have like small plastic bags. They bring them in from places like China,
Mhm.
whatever's cheap. whatever's
Okay, I
the
see.
cheapest option
Yeah.
is what they go for. And so we have ourselves to blame as well. So we can't blame, the people or the
I love
countries.
that you're
Everyone.
doing such future generation and education within the kids, and
Absolutely.
they're really bright nowadays with social media and
Yes.
the news and Google in general. I guess you can Google anything and see how much of an impact. So
That's
thank you
right.
for helping. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
a real leader and, preserving this beautiful land and specifically your land. I honor that. What is something that you want your supporters to know about you? What touches your heart or things that are special to you? If there was one thing you could let all of the 7 continents that are listening to this show know about you, what would it be?
Well, first and foremost is that I'm a mother, and so everything I do is motivated by my passion and my drive to create a better future for my children. I understand that right now they're growing up in a world that I didn't grow up in, and it makes me sad in most cases that they're not going to experience the same things that I did. So first and foremost is that I would want people to know is that I'm a mother, so I can connect to people on that level, and also as a daughter.
Yes.
And I think, yes, that's
Absolutely.
what I would want.
So
everyone to
family,
know.
it's so very important to you. When we were asking and Catherine was talking to you about the tattoos,
Yes.
one of the things that you were like that you wanted permanently printed on you was something that honored your children.
Yes, they're my main motivation.
And not just
Yeah.
anyone can tattoo a royal member. I mean, a member of the royal family.
Yeah.
So not just anyone that can tattoo them, not
Absolutely.
just anyone can just approach them. There's a lot of cultural society type of protocols.
Mhm.
And so there are specific tattoo artists that could only tattoo on her.
Are there like sacred
Absolutely.
symbols as well associated with
Yes.
that are maybe unknown to our culture?
Yes.
and
So she
overall
has
culture.
she has a tattoo that's specific just to the royal family. And it's not like we can get it.
Get that.
No, exactly. Because
That's it. That's what you were
not
asking.
appropriate.
Yeah.
If you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Can you
exactly.
speak a little bit more
Sure.
on your end about cultural appropriation now?
Yes,
I
it's
love
And
it.
how
definitely
people
like
don't like they get ruins,
right.
like the ruin symbols,
Mhm.
and they have no clue what it means.
Yes.
It baffles me. And It's like
Yes.
that's the symbol of the devil, or
And just walking around just as happy, like
looks
I got
like
a tattoo.
cool,
no,
but
you have a tattoo,
no.
you're off. Okay, yes.
Yeah, so definitely. So I mean, I can't speak on complete cultural appropriation, but she can.
Mhm.
Well, the one thing I can say is that there are specific tattoos only for members of the royal family,
Mhm.
and that's kind of like a royal crest, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That they have in like England or in
we'll
like
get
Europe.
rings.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
those type of symbolic type of tattoo art is set aside just for members of the royal family. And so because Tonga is a matriarchal society,
Mhm.
and women are in high regard. So like, for example, feminism here, you look at feminism here, it's coming from an oppressive state.
Yeah.
But in Tonga, it's an elevated state because
Mm.
it's feminism is because it's a matriarchal society. So they elevate our women there.
Women
You
are
want to
the-
go ahead and
Women in
Thank
Tonga
you.
are the head of the family. They're the leaders. And so it comes
Whoa.
naturally for women to be in the forefront of change,
right.
and we're the ones who communicate with our families when their birthdays, funerals, we're there to manage everyone.
Because we can multitask,
We can
isn't that right?
I'm everyone.
and traditionally, women are superior to men, especially
Journey.
so.
Yes, sorry.
No,
Finish. I just
totally
know
agree.
Journey.
Yeah.
Just started throwing
So
some.
it's really interesting because growing up in Tonga, that when we had to move overseas to become educated, my sisters and I had to adjust our way of thinking to the way that men would talk to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why are they talking to us like that? Like,
Really?
they're talking differently to men, so we'd have to adjust.
Wow.
It's so different because
What
in
was maybe the
Tonga,
most shocking factor?
I have to ask. And it's something
Yes.
that's really quick. I know we have
quite-
time.
Very quickly.
It's quite recent really is with my husband. We have this new employee, walks to my husband and he goes, "Hi, boss." And then he looks at me and is like, "Oh, morning, ma'am." And then I was like, no, we are both co-directors of this company. We should be treated equally, boss and boss. So that's something that I thought was a little...
Don't man me,
Yeah.
please.
Exactly. What is that? Why did you shift your tone? Exactly. Journey, did you have something? Because I was gonna.
I mean, I think in America, women are the heads of the family as well. It's just, I think everything has been flipped. So, you know, I always look at my mom as the head of the family. We go to her when we want direction, and for God's sake, she carried us for 9 months. So
That's right.
men can't do that. So
kudos to
Yes.
you.
Maybe in the
tonight,
future.
Journey.
not in the, we're not talking
Catherine's
science here.
hopeful.
We're talking
Don't strike her hope.
nature. But yes.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to say you lead with such grace because you are actually more warm and inviting probably than me sometimes. Like you're definitely a leader. I mean, without question. But it's amazing how you guys are the leaders, yet you have such grace and elegance. That's so beautiful because most times when women are associated as like being quote unquote the head, or you're acting like the head, they don't necessarily, unfortunately, embody that grace and elegance because it's been ripped away from them, you know, and I think that that's beautiful. I never knew that about that culture. How lovely.
I think it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Journey, you want to ask her
I will. So
Yes.
we always ask this question at the end of the show. I'm gonna just go right into it. What is your superpower?
Oh, that one.
Wonder Woman.
My superpower, I find, is being fearless enough to connect with the people in my community. So, because growing up, my family have always had a sort of a barrier around them, which has caused a sort of a disconnect between the traditional leadership and the rest of the diaspora, the Tongan community around the world.
Yeah.
But I feel as though I was one at the forefront with a few others in my family, where we just went down there. We didn't care if we were confronted, if we were challenged. We just wanted to reconnect with our people. And that's really helped me grow so far. And I just hope that I was able to help our young people, especially by doing that.
That is a superpower because
That
a lot
is.
in the royal families, it's kind of let the people take care of themselves and speak to them from a distance. And
Yes.
you
And
You're putting
maintain
your
that
feet on the
distance.
street.
Yeah.
And yes, and to
A lot of
yes.
applause to that. Thank you.
wow.
Absolutely. Wow.
Okay.
Kudos
Yes.
to you, Princess.
Well, we want to thank you for
you.
coming to the show. There's so many more questions that we want to ask you, but you know, please keep in touch.
And the last
Let us
question
know
is,
That's a
where
country
can
rule.
we do have one last question?
Yes.
Where can we follow
Oh,
you?
yes.
Where can we keep up with you?
Yeah,
And where
something.
can you spread your love more?
Oh, well,
Social media.
I have
Yes.
Instagram at Lupe Uluiva. That's LupeUluiva. And then I also have a Twitter account at Freddie Tuita. So
And then
Great.
Facebook, Honorable Frederica Tuita.
All right,
Yes.
guys, you make sure you all follow this beautiful, graceful
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
And
And let us know what we can help and what we can do. We have a voice here, so we want to extend the help as well, you know, and let the people know your challenges, because your challenges are challenges, because we live in the same world. So
Absolutely.
we definitely understand.
Mhm.
All right. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. We will be back.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo!
thank you, Freddie, for your time.
Thank you.